Look at her. There she is. Is that your work right there?
That's not. That's Matthew. But
okay.
You know, it's funny when you see pictures that are from the past and then you remember like wig wardrobe or jewelry wardrobe, you see things with new eyes. So there's something that we do when we're getting ready. And so once we pick the dress, then like go out and pick some jewelry and say, hey, what do you think of these selections of jewelry, Rue? Would you like to wear these? And then sometimes she'll say, yeah, that's fine. Or no, none of that. I want to look for myself. And then shoes. When you see these pictures, I see some of the ornamentation, and I'm like, we have to retire that because I've seen that before. And then if I've seen it before, they're going to have seen it before.
Oh, yeah.
So there's certain things that maybe have fallen by that you haven't really noticed. But if you're aware of what it is, you're like, I can remember that earring hiding behind the hair that went like this. And so maybe we should pull that out. And like, you know, she buys all of that stuff, so she knows.
Oh,
but there's sometimes when like the stuff's laid out, because her dressing room, everything, there's like 3 dressing rooms.
Yeah.
Her private room that has a bathroom and her full makeup where she changes. And then sometimes she'll do dress in like the hair room. No one comes back there. There's a curtain, there's a door, a curtain, and then another series of doors before you get to her. So you have to get through all of us before you get to Rue.
Right.
And so no one's ever just going to happen.
Like the Ark of the Covenant.
Really, it is. It really feels. And she also does her podcast.
Oh, right.
During her break of the show, so she's working all day long. Like it boggles my mind that she does that podcast during lunch.
Is there like banter in the dressing room, or yeah?
Yeah, I mean, there's a point now where she'll come in the morning, and there's a moment where we were doing donuts for a while. Everybody wanted donuts in the morning. Donuts. And then Rue was like, I don't want the donuts near me, so put them in the other room because she has a sweet tooth. So then it was like, well, we don't want to do donuts because we don't want to be rude and tempt someone else who doesn't want donuts. So then it was like a Starbucks kick. And then there's a couple of episodes she even mentions on her podcast.
Yeah, where she had too much caffeine. She
went wild. She went wild. It was late night. It was a really late night. For like 3 episodes straight. But yeah, those rooms, it's like people have to really get through all the way to that sort of inner sanctum. But, we'll come in, I'll say, oh my God, have you seen this video? And we'll pull up videos like rotten, gross porn. And she doesn't, so at first I was like, I'm not going to, Raven's like, don't show her. I'm like, bitch, I'm going to show her, she doesn't care. She's like more dick than any of us, so come on now.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. So you take them and you show her and she laughs it off and she shows us some stuff and we're very fortunate because occasionally when there's like a challenge that the girls had to do on a day that we're not there, because we're only there the days that she is actually in drag.
Right, of course.
We're invited to be there. We can be there if we want to work on extra wigs or maybe Raven wants to do something. She will let us sit down in the morning and watch the challenge while she watches it.
Wow.
So if she wasn't there, we will sometimes get to see like, because we're not obviously going to say anything.
Very behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And will she chat about it with you, or will you just watch in silence?
No, she stays very professional about it. She doesn't play favorites, and she doesn't let on to anything as far as like where anything's going to go.
Yeah.
That's all a surprise to really everyone. I mean, when they, you have seen Rue on the show leave the stage.
Yeah.
That really does happen, and there really is a point where when she does walk off, the executive producers all meet together and decide what's really going to happen because it is ultimately her decision, but she has to think of all the factors involved in that decision because, the report card of the girl.
Right.
Versus, maybe somebody's brought an attitude. Because you do get girls that, my season as well, there's so much edited that, that doesn't necessarily affect the outcome of anything. It's just time. You can't include everything.
Yeah.
But there are things that you think to yourself, well, I don't know, that looks funnier than it probably was just because the fans like to, but that's what keeps the show going is the fans.
Yeah.
That's what keeps the show going. I guess I like to call them the enthusiasts because there's a lot of people that say that they're drag fans, but what they really mean is they're drag race fans.
Yes.
You don't really go, if you
Definitely
really are a
is a
drag fan,
difference.
if you're that much of a drag fan, you're going to go see your local girls.
Now, last but not least, look at her.
Oh my
The
God.
legendary. You took over. He was doing 2 jobs.
He was actually
doing 3 or 4. He did the photos,
about
the
10
hair,
jobs.
the makeup,
About 10 jobs.
the retouching.
Funny you say retouching. I can remember Matthew saying one time that He doesn't understand people's problem with retouching, because if you're going to put makeup on and you're going to put a wig on and you're going to use glue, and
right?
Why wouldn't the next step be retouching something that maybe other people don't necessarily see as a flaw in person, but on camera it might read a little bit different. So you sort of touch up things that maybe are, you know, a makeup flaw here or whatever. You resurface something. There's nothing wrong with that, I don't think, and I agree with him. I remember seeing Matthew work before, and he was one of these people that, I'm not joking, he could literally just pick up a wig out of a bag that someone had worn before, and I've seen him just put it on a mannequin and literally with his fingers just start styling, just start moving, just start and saying, and I've asked, like, well, what about this part? What about that part? We're cheating for camera. We're cheating for camera. This is about getting it shot. Get the shot, cheat for camera. Get the shot, cheat for camera. There's a difference between photographing someone for a headshot versus photographing someone on the red carpet. If you're for a headshot, who gives a shit how bad the back looks? No one's going to see it. But if somebody's on the red carpet or someone's going to turn this way or that way, they're going to see all those mistakes. And he was such a master of being able to fix those mistakes even before the retouch.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so he was so great at that. I can remember too, not even knowing before I met him that he was the creative mind behind No Doubt's Ex-Girlfriend video. He's the makeup artist behind that, and that is like one of my favorite videos ever. And it wasn't until later, like Raja and I were talking, and she's like, you know, Matthew was the makeup artist on that. I'm like, fuck. It's brilliant. Like,
yeah, you got to work with him a little bit on Drag You, and so what was that like, and what did you pick up from him?
Well, from my experience, and again, mine is just a work experience, not a friend experience.
Right.
He was he is an extremely eccentric person and an extremely smart person, and somebody who really has a very difficult time with basic shit. So if you're not on his level, it's not that he sees you as below his level. It's that he just sees you as, I'm not going to waste your time and I don't want you to have to waste my time. Just admit what your level is, admit what you can do, and I'll find the work for you.
Right.
Other than that, let's not like bullshit that like you're all this and all that. And don't lie. Like he's another one of those people. Don't lie and tell me, oh, honey, I've been doing makeup on this person for 500 years. No, tell me you have an interest in makeup.
Right.
Show me the pictures that you did and say, I would like to learn more. And I think he would have time for that more than some other shit. But working with him was always, you know, I think one of the reasons why he really loved Raven a lot, really loves Raven's work, is because Raven's one of those people that can look at a face chart and duplicate exactly what's on there. So if there's anything people see, like in any changes in RuPaul's makeup or trends or developments or whatever, there's nothing that she's wearing that she was forced into. Everything that she wears, she signs off on. So there's not, a brush doesn't touch that face without Ru saying, how much of that is on that?
Right.
What color is on that? All right, I want a little more here, a little more there. Even when we're doing touch-ups, you know, we'll say, you know, can I step in? I'd like to do a touch-up. And I might walk in and say, hey, this looks a little different than here. And she'll hold her mirror up and she'll say, no, I like it there. I'm fine with it there. Or she might say, stop, hey, I need Delta up here. Delta, I feel like there's a hair coming down. And it's that. The same with Raven. She might tell Raven, I like this proportion of eyebrows. This is how I want to see it with that kind of hair.
Right.
But I want to see it this way with that. So we're always going to see that. And Matthew obviously had 30 years of working with this same person and knowing what this same person wants, and knowing, and of course Zaldi as well, who designs the gowns,
the team,
Emmy award winning, knows what Ru likes to wear and what Ru doesn't like to wear. So this season we've seen, in All Stars, we've seen some short dresses that are archived dresses that were made for Ru many years ago that she slips right into.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. And that's totally her call, because we know what wardrobe is there because it comes in occasionally throughout the season. You'll get a few dresses and they'll hang up. But sometimes she'll come in and she'll say, I brought this from storage and I'm going to wear this today. And we're like, whoa, that's fierce. Okay. Yeah, Matthew, you know, that's something her and Matthew, I think when we started, there had to have been a comfort level where I mean, I'm used to getting ready in a dressing room, and if I'm getting ready in a dressing room, I realize it's kind of a sanctuary. If there's go-go dancers in the dressing room, they have to change too. And so there's a respect level that, like, as much as we can kiki and have a good time and laugh and everything, like, it's just a little bit disrespectful to, like, do too much with the dancers, or you know what I mean? It's because they're fucking working, and they already have to deal with all those people out there doing too much.
Yes, exactly.
So with her, I thought, well, shit, she's not really around other queens. She gets ready with Matthew.
Yeah.
Now she's going to have to get ready with us. And, like, is it going to be awkward? Like, well, you know, I am the queen. You guys only see me done. Now you're going to see me in between, and you're going to see... I mean, I don't know. I think... I'd like to think that she didn't care. I mean, I'd like to think she knew that we were never going to go put her on... I mean, there's nothing to put on blast in that sense, but... Why would you? I mean... Of
course. I mean, you're lucky to be in there, and you would never disrespect that.
Yeah.
More than definitely was probably a change for you and her.
Yeah, more than anything, it's fascinating. Like, I remember the first season that we did this, walking in, there was a rack, and I was like, why are all these clothes, all these dresses are like the same color? I don't understand. And they weren't. They were all different foundation garments that had been built for each type of outfit.
Wow.
And we were like, fuck, this shit is dyed to match the skin. This is done this way. I remember, like, looking at all the shoes and picking them up, and I'm like, these are all Marc Jacobs shoes. Like, he doesn't make this size. Like, he made it for her.
You've really had a peek behind the curtain, sweetie.
Lucky.
Very, very exciting. Well, we're excited to see what else is coming up for you. We love you.
Thank you.
And, you know, just once again, congratulations on a motherfucking Emmy Award! Oh, well, thank you all for watching Look It Up. Thank you to Miss Lady Red over there looking like a big Emmy. Thanks to our Go-Go boys. Make sure you find them on their OnlyFans. And thank you to Delta Work for slaying the game. And we'll see you next time on Hey Qween and Look Up. Hit it! Look at her.
Is this solid, or is this like...
It's solid. Look at her. Hey, Lady Red. Hey, Delta.
Hey.
You are looking. Are you looking? Look at her.